Hey everybody, I've been experimenting with the lats a lot, and I've kind of figured out like a bunch of different angles, a bunch of different ways of like initiating different muscles and stuff like that. So I was going to make a video on kind of just how to do different pull-ups, how different pull-ups activate your back, and different angles that you can actually hit the lat. I think I pretty much got most of the angles covered, but if you have any more, then link me in the comments. Alright, so we're going to start with behind the neck pull-ups, and for me, I don't know if this is because of my own physiology. I have really long arms and kind of like a small width on my torso. So doing behind the neck pull-ups in like the middle range of motion while leaning forward actually helps me target my lower, like inner lats, like right under the low traps. So here's the video for that. Alright, so this is how you do the behind the neck pull-ups the way that I've been doing them. Get like this part of the lat right here. So first I usually, you know how you're gonna do like shoulder press, target upper chest, kind of like this. I stretch my lats all the way forward so that they curl around, and then that's where I'm gonna place my hands in the pull-up bar. Like this, right here. Come down. Legs go backwards, rolling at the hamstrings. Lean slightly forward, and engage your lats. And right here, as I'm going to pull up, I'm going to lean forward into the movement with my head. So, just like that. And then here's just another view so you can see it from the side. Alright, so now you saw the behind the neck. The next one is kind of like if you did like a pullover on a pull-up bar, but it's more like terrace focused, so like upper lat area, and also you get a really good stretch in your mid back. So if you have tight mid back and you want to correct the imbalance there, strengthen up the terrace and stuff like that. So here's how to do this one. This is also another one I've been experimenting with. It's kind of like a pullover, but same technique. Go here, knees behind, chest up, engage the lats. So this next one is just a regular pull-up. It's just a little bit more vertical, slow, under control, and it's kind of more like the middle part of the lat. So like the side just under your terrace, right there. It's not really front focused or back focused, it's kind of more the width area. And this right here is just a little side view of the same motion. Alright, now moving on to single arm. I chose a chin up just because I'm focusing lats right now, and with your hand supinated underhand like this, you actually get a different type of stretch on a different part of the lat. And also, you probably want to use your bicep to help out during single arm exercises, just so you can have the load distributed better, especially if you're first doing them. And also, I am doing it while holding my other arm assisting, so it's not a true single arm exercise, but that's what I can do right now. Alright, and now I'll show the activation on a one arm chin up. So as you can see, actually on the one arm chin up, there's probably the most lat activation out of all of them. I'm not sure if that's just because of my body mechanics again, but I'm definitely gonna probably try to start training the one arm chin up, because you can see like the whole lat's cramping up, and even my entire torso starts to fold into the lat, and you can see all the striations. So might have to try that. And then here's like a terrace, kind of like a straight arm pull down variation. This is what it looks like too. It's a kind of close grip. Leaning back, full stretch. Actually, you might want to have like a little thing like this under you. You can put it here and rest your feet right there. Kind of like this. So rounding the back all the way, and then pushing straight down with your arms and pulling back, lats, nothing else. So that one actually is really good. Like after every set, if you do that, like you can just feel the lat fibers just tearing like across your whole lat. It loosens up the lat really good, and it actually helps you initiate like a regular pull-up, like with the correct muscles, because you're actually pulling with your teres and like middle lats. So then when you go into your next set, they'll actually be more primed to pull that way. Alright, so now I'm going to show you a version of a dumbbell row that actually is fantastic for lats, but it's done wrong, and I did it wrong for probably about 3 years. So this is how you actually do it to target your lats. So I get like a chair or something like this, place your wrist here, and then wide stance, sit back your hips a little bit, bring the dumbbell at eye level, like forehead level, so you're not reaching straight, you're reaching forward. See that stretch in the lat? So from there, grab down, and then you're lifting up, and you're actually initiating the lift by not pulling up this way, you're pulling this way, straight arm. So you're pulling this way first, and then back a little bit. So you're there. So this way, back. From there, you're not pulling with your bicep up, you're taking your elbow and you're bringing it back like this. So see, I'm not even moving my mid back at all. That's the first stage of the lift. So combining that now, after you're doing this, you can then bend the elbow, and as you get like to the mid line of your leg, you're gonna then bend the chest up slightly. That gets that little rotation right in here, and it'll hit right there in the back. So all in one motion, and you're even rotating the torso forward, and then coming in this way. So it's almost a rotational movement. And that's how you do them. So this is another good one. This is one I actually just like discovered kind of the other day too. It's with a kettlebell, and you need like a sort of bench to kind of lay down on. But when you do it, you actually taking your lat and going behind your head like this, almost if you're doing like a overhead tricep extension. This is actually the most stretched point of your lat right here, not hanging from the bar here. See, when I come over here, it wraps around the front. So when I do this with an isolation with a really light weight and keep it in that middle tension area, you can actually feel it all the way down your hip, and you can actually see the muscle moving there in the video. Alright, so now this last version of a pull-up, I don't even know if there's a way to emulate this or do this in a gym or something, but it destroys your lats, like instant pump, like crazy. And it has to do with elevating your legs almost like vertically, and the only way I could figure out how to do this is on a bunk bed. So I'll show you how to do that here, but it's really interesting. It gets like the outer portion of the lats, definitely feel it. So for that one, I'm kind of speculating that the reason why the lats are so active in that is because with your hips rotated forward this way, right, towards your stomach, you actually get a greater stretch on the entire back as a whole, and that will stretch it more from the bottom. And on top of that, because of the bunk bed right here, right, and I'm hanging from here, my legs are up here, and it actually forces me to push away from my body this way as I'm on the descent. So the angle of pull is actually not vertical, it's this way. It's a little less than vertical. And I think that away from the body definitely is what is engaging the lats a lot. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is the acromion, which is right here. It's this little bone in your shoulder, right in the middle, on top. That actually affects if you're going to be training your mid-back or your lats. So let me show you what I mean by that. So most people, they just kind of row, whatever, lat pull down, it's all the same. They don't think about this, but see that bone right there? Now, if this bone, which is neutral right now, is going to hit basically wherever your muscles want to go. So whatever's stronger on you, more overactive, it's going to pull that way. Now, if you have this bone rotated slightly up and backwards, see that? That little rotation. So here's that midline. See that? Look at where my trap connects. See that little rotation? That's what we're looking for. And that will activate the mid-back straight away. So you can see it right here. Ready? Rotating. Boom. That's literally all mid-back. So when I engage my shoulder blades like this in a row and I pull back just like that, see that? All mid-back squeeze. So now that you know what actually contracts the mid-back, you can then just do the opposite for lats. So take a look here. If this is mid-back, right, then this is actually going to be lats. Now don't go into full like internal rotation like this. That's terrible for you. But if you just slightly take that bone away from midline, right there, you can actually even see my lat start to contract, and I'll show you from the back. So here's the middle. That's about even development. This is upper back, and then turning down just a little, lat. So first I just want to go over the functions of the lat. So the lat can take the arm from here and pull it towards the side. That is mostly the upper lat, the teres major area. The lat can also do this. This is another function of the teres, but so behind the head. So that's for more of that frontal width and coming in. So that's coming actually towards the hip bone like this. So that is probably the most complete range of motion of the lat. Then we have coming from straight on. That's going to be more the rear part of the teres muscle. Then we have coming from below, like this. It's going to also be part of your teres. Now for the lower lat, you're actually going to want to focus on this range of motion down. So it's going to be anything from here, see that? Pulling back in the upper like range of motion of a pull-up. Also like a one arm, it has a rotational force, so you can see no rotation. Add that rotation, it really cramps up right there. See that? Boom. Right down into the hip. Alright, so that's the video. Hope you liked it. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, or if you guys have some crazy ideas, because I'm always looking for stuff. Let me know what you think should be the next video, but obviously it's kind of gonna go with what I'm training at the moment. Kind of been focusing lats right now, so that's probably what I'll be doing so that I could show you guys what I'm doing. See you later.